All right, we are back again. BarstoolBuddhas. I'm Jai.
Rip.
We hadn't been around on this format in a long time. I think I did some Barstool bits, and we went doing the Driving Wild series last week.
Driving Wild Dead.
Which was kind of interesting and strange in itself. I don't know that anybody actually watched that. I think they turned it on, oh my God, my TV's broken again. So we determined that this week was going to be a little different. There may be a spot or two of we allude to some politics or something, but this is the Thanksgiving show, and we're going to just go over a few things that we thought might be a pleasant thing, a change, and to be maybe invigorating instead of disappointing and
be positive.
Be positive. So, it's Thanksgiving, and in this country, we celebrate the first Thanksgiving where the indigenous folks and the Pilgrims got together and broke bread instead of each other's head, and tried to come together and make a better world, at least in that day. Be thankful for what they had, and as the story goes, if it hadn't been for the indigenous people, or Indians, as my generation used to call them,
right,
they would have starved to death. Actually, if they hadn't been shown how to survive, the rest of us would still be in merry old England or Germany or wherever the hell as our ancestors were walking around back then. But, as of late, I've heard some controversy about that because of the whole indigenous thing and what happened to the people in the country and how it progressed after that. And some really terrible and nasty things have happened since that day. But I guess my point is that it showed that in the very beginning, things like that could happen, that people can reach across a table to break bread instead of breaking each other's heads.
Right.
And so it's worth remembering. And it's worth remembering not only as one day a year, but every day. It's an exercise of gratitude. For what we have, what we remember were our best moments. And
they're few and far between for most of us.
We forget where we are. And I heard it said there was a movie out years ago called Excalibur.
Yeah.
You remember that movie where Arthur's conquered the whole kingdoms and there's one king, and Merlin says, "Remember it well, for it is the doom of men that they forget."
Yep.
And boy, truer words were never spoken.
We're living those days now.
So I think that's the lesson of it. We need to remember who we are, where we came from, what our opportunities are, what we've had bestowed upon us. So most of what we're going to do today is we're going to read some quotes and comment on them. And most of them we've just taken off the shelf because we're not exactly a brain trust. We're not going to write the next great American novel or great philosophy. But you know what? If you go to your bookshelf, most of you have a bookshelf, and you have books that you've kept because they mean something to you. Every once in a while, go look around and refresh some of those things. It helps you go back out in the world. So
you went to the internet to look for gratitude.
Yeah, it took me an hour to find quotes on gratitude. It's gratitude doesn't mean what it used to mean. It's
There's too much other stuff on the internet.
It's just too much.
It's back in the dark corners.
It was quite the challenge to get what we needed. And a lot of these folks, some of them we know and some of them we don't. Yeah. We were actually looking for things that would hold meaning and help us express what we wanted to say today. So we're going to just read a few of them, and we'll have a few things to say at the end while we're wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. So our episode today basically is the theme is gratitude, the great enabler for a better life. Yeah. So
one of these is from Randy Pouch from the last lecture. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things humans can do for each other.
Yeah, and that if you read that human beings can do for each other. Yeah. We can do a lot of things to each other. We can do nothing. Doing nothing is sometimes better than the some things we do.
But it encompasses being polite, being considerate, being thankful. Just gratitude covers a lot of things that people do in their general life, and some people don't practice it on a regular basis. We struggle with it.
And I got to tell you, there's a few people looking at this right now going, "Boy, Josh talking about this?" Ooh. Yeah, well, I struggle with it all the time. I try to be nice. I really do. But it's a work in progress. I have certain values that drive me in the moment to say things I probably shouldn't say. And I truly do regret most of them. And I can justify all of them.
But in the moment,
it's a problem. But again, I think that's the human condition. We all have those moments where it's easier to be not nice than nice, and it's a practice to change that. So, and this is from an old Greek, an Athenian, actually, if you want to be accurate.
Right.
Epicurus, you might have heard of him. I think he had something to do with food too, Epicurean and all that. Right. I don't think he ate this. I think he just said this. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you do not have. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. So, and that goes to gratitude. I mean, you know, a lot of us, for instance, we're sitting in a room full of a lot of electronics and toys that we play with in a warm house where we have plenty to eat. We have a job to go to, a car, and we have a dog at our feet down here. It's easy to forget in the moment what you do have.
Right.
You know, you think, well, you know, I'm not going to get to do this, and I'm not going to do that, and this is such a pain in the back. Don't forget what you have. It's the key to being a better person.
Yeah.
Gratitude. Yeah. Okay, your turn. That's Maya Angelou. You know her, right?
Yeah.
That's yours, isn't it? Or is that mine?
No, yours.
That's me. Sorry, confusion comes more often these days. Maya Angelou, if you don't know who she is, she's a poet. I don't know if she won a Pulitzer Prize or Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, she won a lot of stuff because she was really very smart. She's a very wise person. She says, the ship of my life may or may not be sailing on calm and amiable seas. The challenging days of my existence may or may not be bright and promising. Stormy or sunny days, glorious or lonely nights, I maintain an attitude of gratitude. If I insist on being pessimistic, there is always tomorrow. Today I am blessed.
Yeah.
And like we talked before, in the East, there's a theory. Well, it's not really a theory. It's true if you look at it. Mm-hmm. There is only now. There is only today. Yesterday is gone and dead and is not coming back.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow isn't here yet, and you may not have tomorrow. So your world actually exists right here,
in this moment,
right now. So if you're not being in a positive mood, then your life looks pretty bad. You can get depressed. You can just, everything's terrible, and a lot of bad stuff flows from that. So,
oh yeah, bad energy.
I think her point is, be positive first. If you need to be pessimistic, wait till tomorrow. You may not have to do it.
Right.
You might not have to
Tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Right. Then we got John F. Kennedy.
My one and only favorite Democrat. Politics alert.
As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them.
Yeah, and that one I put in here specifically, as I said earlier, lots of people are going, that's why I let him read it, because if I read it, people turn off TV. It's very easy to have goals and aspirations, and I have tons of them that I don't meet every day, but I don't give up on them. And I know that to live by them is the key to make a better me. And if I'm a better me, and I know this by example and by experience, when I'm the best person I can be, things are different around me. People react different. Life is better. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I learn slowly.
It's a process.
And quicker would be better.
It's a process.
Quicker would be better.
Let's see. And you got...
Is this me again? Yes, okay, yeah. So this is a guy named Neil Maxwell. Again, these are people, we have no idea who they are, but they seem to be really smart. We should certainly count our blessings, but we should also make our blessings count. Now, that sounds like a class A1 cliche, but it's so true. Most cliches have some truth in them. If you get a blessing and you don't make it count, not only did you fail yourself, you wasted that blessing. Exactly. Somebody else could have had that blessing. So don't take it for granted that you know, oh, well, it didn't mean much. It wasn't. It meant something. Even if you just recognize it as such.
Right.
You know, try to claim it. Be thankful for it. Even if it got away for you, be grateful that it came your way and say, oh, I missed that one, but you know what? I'm going to be alert for the next one. Mm-hmm. Not going to let that happen again.
Yeah. And I like this one by Steve Maraboli. The problem that we have with the victim mentality is that we forget to see the blessings of the day. Because of this, our spirit is poisoned instead of nourished.
And all you have to do is take an afternoon, and it's all you're ever going to need. 4 hours in front of YouTube. Just go through there, the news, whatever. All the miserable, pessimistic poisoned people spouting stuff with the best of intentions. They want to inform you. They want you to change the way you do things to make things right. Because, most people think they're doing the right thing. As hard as that might be to believe, I truly want to believe that most people are making an effort to make the world a better place the way they see it. But unfortunately, a lot of negativity out there, and it only breeds more negativity. And, to be a victim, if people need to get on their knees for some reasons all the time, I'm not going to go into that, but if you stay on your knees and you claim that you're repressed, if you claim you're a victim all the time, you will be a victim all the time. Get off your knees after you say thank you and go out there and claim what you can, do what you can, be the best person you can be, and be grateful for the fact that you can see that. If that's all you can do today, is say, I'm going to stop being a victim, that's a blessing in itself. That's something to be grateful for.
How many times have you said be a part of the solution, not part of the problem?
Yeah, and you know what? As a guy who's usually part of the problem, I'm really grateful that I can still see that. So we don't mean to be light of. These are real serious things, but we see so many people that are victims. And I'm not saying that people aren't a victim to situations, that things aren't happening to them. Things happen to everybody, good, bad, ugly.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
But it's not you. It's what's happening in your life. When you make it you, when you become that victimhood, when you become that and embody that, you've shut so many doors. I don't blame you for getting on YouTube and screaming at everybody.
You're carrying the flag of victimhood.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah.
It leads nowhere. It's a dead end. Once you recognize you're on a dead end street, you turn around and go the other way.
Exactly.
You might have to go out. You might have to go out the way you came in to find out where you're going to get. But you know what? Get off that dead end road.
Yeah. Then we got William Arthur Ward. Never heard of him?
Yeah, but he was up here too. He's the second one we had, isn't he? Yeah, I like this guy.
Gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgivings, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings.
Absolutely. I've seen it happen. There are small things that happen every day if you notice them. I'm terrible in traffic. I talk to drivers. I'm the only one in the car. I scream at people. I don't necessarily flip them off or run over them, but I'm going, rah, 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 rah.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I let somebody in front of me.
Yeah.
Or I just little things that really aren't a big deal. But I've gotten to the point now where I've noticed that it's like, oh, okay, that was easy. That was, that person's now happy. They were stressed because they couldn't get in.
Exactly.
You follow the whole
Those
chain.
Those are small things, but they're part of the.
They're small things, and small minds need small things sometimes. But again, it's an opportunity, and I'm grateful that I'm seeing that now, because it was a problem for me. And anyone, especially my wife, rides down the street, I think her main concern anywhere we go is he going to make it there without causing a scene in the car? And I understand. It's a truism.
There's always out of the car.
Yeah. But, you can find ways to be grateful. You don't have to wait at the end of the day and say, well, I was grateful that I got those shoes I wanted, or I got the raise, or my boss didn't scream at me, or I got the contract, or whatever it is. There's these little things all day long that are happening that you can just practice on being grateful for. So I think one of the last things we're going to do here is one of my favorite people. He's no longer here on the planet, but he's with me. He's often quoted as saying, be the change that you want to see in the world. Well, as Mahatma Gandhi, but I don't really think he said that. There's several people that will say he really didn't say that. So I went out and looked on the internet again. Now, this took 2 hours. But I found the actual quote that I think this is taken from, and it's much deeper, and I like it much more. There's more words, but he says, we but mirror the world. All the tendencies present in the outer world are to be found in the world of our body. If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. So it says the same thing as be the change you want to see, but it's more than that. You realize that you're the same as the people that you're looking at. They have the problems, you have the problems. We all face things every day. And so the wins that you might face, other people are looking for as well. And, you know, we can really help bring gratitude to a lot of people by showing gratitude in what we have as it occurs. Yeah. And I think that folds back into the Thanksgiving theme. I know there's a lot of people this Thanksgiving in some of the big cities in the world, in this country, who are living under bridges who don't have much. And if you were to ask them, they don't have much to be thankful for, given your view of the world. But don't underestimate those people. I'm sure that some of them are grateful that they've got the tent in the center of the overpass. Yeah. And that's not to make light of it. But there are, anywhere you are, anything you do, there's a possibility to be grateful, to keep yourself going. And if you feel grateful for what you have, maybe you can extend a hand to those people. Yeah. And that's, you know, think about that when you're sitting at your table. If you have something, make the world a better place. And you do that by starting with yourself, feeling grateful for what you have, and it will motivate you when you go out on the world. Make the little changes. We can't all be Gandhi.
No.
I don't look good in a diaper. It's never going to happen. Maybe when I get to the nursing home. I don't know. But we all got to try. And this is where it starts. There's a song that's out this time of year, Let There Be Peace on Earth, and let it begin with me. Yeah. You can take peace out of that and put anything you want to see in this world. Mm-hmm. Whatever you think needs change it. Let it begin with me. Let me see what I have that can contribute to the rest of the world. Make the world a better place by making yourself a better person.
That's a start.
And that's the Thanksgiving message from these two bozos here. All right. We got anything?
BarstoolBuddhas out.
We're out of here. See you later.